Hello and welcome to 4th Metagame Monday on Series 10, where I take a look at popular team archetype and explain why and how its sets work, how it matches up against the other archetypes in the format, and how to defeat it. So today we're having a Xerneas team, which a lot of people wanted to see for a long time, with a good reason. Xerneas is the best setup sweeper in the game and is restricted as well, which means not only it is a good setup sweeper, it got more than better base stats and abilities, that being Fairy Aura, giving it 30% boost to its fairy type attacks, and stats are just beautiful. So yeah, I don't think Xerneas needs any explanation. You go for Power Herd, which makes Geomancy 1-turn move instead of 2-turn move, and you just get +2/+2/+2, and you just sweep with Dazzling Gleam if you need spread moves, Moon Blast if you need single target, more bursty attack, and Protect is to protect yourself from fake outs and spores and Glassmogs, whatever. DCV spread is also pretty simple. I have enough speed to outspeed Xerneas by 1 point, the Adamant max speed Xerneas. Then I go for Breakpoint here in special attack. You see I get 2 extra special attacks for just 8 EVs. And the rest of it is put into HP for special defense and 60 defense. That's just how it works. This team needs some synergies for Xerneas, and believe it or not, this team has 7 Pokemon on it instead of 6. For the reasons I'm gonna explain a little bit later, since almost all of these members are kind of necessary, and you can kind of mix and match all of these 6 Pokemon into 5 onto this whole team. Incineroar is basically probably the most mandatory Pokemon on this entire team, as it just has fantastic synergy with Xerneas, right? It goes for Fake Out, so it just gives Geomancy a free momentum boost. Intimidate lowers the attacking power, the physical attacking power from opponent's Pokemon, so that synergizes well with the special defense boost from Geomancy. Parting Shot is just amazing pivoting move. Flare Blitz allows it to deal with steel types, and with close combat and safety goggles, believe it or not, this set is very important. It allows him to deal with stack attack more reliably, and stack attack is otherwise very difficult for this team to defeat. If you don't have Urshifu Rapid Strikes, it is really difficult to deal with stack attack, especially with safety goggles stack attack. This is the most common set on it. Other than that, the EV spread is max HP, enough to get a Breakpoint in defense, since we do not really need beat Xerneas on this team, but in Incineroar that is. We got Volcarona and Mungus to deal with Xerneas. So I go for almost max defense, so I take close combats and Surging Strikes a bit better. Then I go for some speed to speed creep out on Incineroars for attack, and rest put in the special defense for some good special bulk. Volcarona is probably another very important Pokemon on this team, as it allows us to defeat opponent Xerneas and opponent Zacians. Zacians are probably even bigger trouble. That is, well, so we got max defense. Actually, I kind of changed the spread from past Volcarona, because I realized we can run Overheat on Volcarona. Overheat from even 4 special attack allows you to defeat 4 HP, or just 1 hit KO Zacian with 4 HP. And that is it. Rest of it is put into defense, so we take Surging Strikes as better as we can. Struggle Bug is for opponents Eternatus and Xerneas, so we just stabilize them. Whirlwind is amazing, so we just Whirlwind away Trick Room Setters and Xerneas most importantly. And Rage Powder just synergizes well extremely well with Xerneas, since we can redirect Behemoth Blades and stuff like that from Xerneas away. Flame Body is just mandatory, so we get the Surging Strikes. Each hit of Surging Strikes has a chance to proc the Flame Body. I believe we actually take Surging Strikes guaranteed with this EV spread with max defense, so I think that's just cool. And we got like 3 chances to proc the Flame Body on Surging Strikes, and Behemoth Blade also just can get burnt, and then Zacian gets useless. Citrus Berry is very important for the extra recovery. Without this extra recovery, we would not be able to take Surging Strikes as reliably. Mungus is also kind of important. It's probably one of the it feels less important than the Volcarona in Resurrection episode 3, but it's just it's as important as Volcarona basically. Double Resurrection has very good synergy with Xerneas, and Spore allows you to just shut down a lot of Trick Room modes. Rage Powder is also very good, and Pollen Puff is amazing. If you're facing up against grass types, you can kind of Pollen Puff the Xerneas, and well, they can go through Rage Powder, right? So that's annoying. But if you Pollen Puff, you can kind of offset the wood hammer, power whip damage they got into you, and you can just kind of like still be at full health even though you cannot have resurrected the grass type attack. Mental herb is kind of nice, so we just kind of like are immune to taunts from Incineroars and Tornadus. Regenerator is also great. It's just much better than Effect Spore. It just, you switch out, you recover 33% of your health. That's just good combo. Also, I run a lot more defense, so you can see we got breakpoint here again in defense to 2 extra points for only 8 EVs. I use this defensive spread more because I like taking Flare Blitz and Triple Axle from Xerneas a little bit more than taking special hits. And yeah, that's that. Rest of it is put in the special defense. Now, Regieleki is another very important Pokemon. Without Regieleki, we would not be able to defeat Kyogre as much or as well as otherwise we would be able to. So basically against Torn Ogre lead, we just go for Electro Web turn 1 and we just double slow them down. After we slow down Tornadus and Kyogre, we can actually outspeed them. With Regieleki can go for like another Electro Web to finish off Tornadus, or Thunderbolt to finish off Kyogre. Or Volt Switch to finish off Tornadus. It's up to you. And it's quite annoying for them to deal with this. We can also outspeed Serena, even if it's Jolly Max beats Serena. That Serena does not outspeed Regieleki, so if they lead Serena and Regieleki, we can just Volt Switch out against them. And just preserve the focus on Regieleki for later in the game against Kyogre and Tornadus. So yeah, that's that. Other than that, Regieleki's job can also be the finish of Zacian. Thunderbolt plus Moonblast from +2 Xerneas actually goes up on Zacian. So I think that's super cool. And yeah, that's probably the job of Regieleki. Rillaboom is another Pokemon that allows us to deal with Torn Ogre, but most importantly, it allows us to deal with Calyrex Shadow Rider more importantly. With knockoff, it is very annoying for Calyrex Shadow Rider to deal with. Grassy Glide is also very annoying for their main Shell and Psychic Terrain Setters to deal with. Wood Hammer is just great to ignore the, for example, priority blocking of Queenly Majesty. So Wood Hammer is great in that, and also deals with Trick Room Setters a bit better, as Wood Hammer Burst is just nice. Assault Vest is definitely necessary, so we take Astral Barrage and Hurricanes as better as we can. Fake Out is amazing for momentum gaining. Not too much else to explain. We get a breakpoint here then with Adamant Nature, and the rest of it is put in the special defense, since I don't think we really need speed creep out of Rillaboom, since we do not have U-turn on our moveset. So we just kind of lose the mirror anyways, so I just kind of didn't care. So yeah. And Surging Strikes, like Rapid Strike or Shifu with Choice Scarf and as the last slot is also very important. It allows us to deal with Zacian a bit better, it allows us to deal with Volcarona a bit better, it allows us to deal with Landorus Incarnate Form a lot better, and Stack Attack. And Nihiliga, of course. It's like, Rapid Strike or Shifu got a lot of great matchups it brings to the table, but it's nothing too important, so I usually leave out Rapid Strikes or Shifu out of the team, since it's just kind of like non-restricted matchups and not a restricted matchup, and I think having restricted matchups in check is a lot more important than like some kind of random Pokemon that can appear on any team. Poison Jab is amazing for Fairy types, Close Combat is for Stab, Searching Strikes is for Stab, and U-turn is for adjusting the position. You can run Adamant Nature, since you actually outspeed Calyrex Shadow Rider even with Adamant Nature with max speed. So that's cool, and we can run Adamant Max Attack. So it throws some calculations off that might be counting in Jolly Max Attack into their calculations. So yeah, Rapid Strike through Shifu job is to beat Landorus Incarnate Form, most importantly Landorus Incarnate Form, which as you can see has multitude of good matchups. They can set up Substitute against Mungus, Rock Slide, Volcarona, Earthfire, Incineroar, and Regieleki, Sludge Bomb, Rillaboom, and Sludge Bomb Xerneas. So Rapid Strike through Shifu really does help with Landorus Incarnate Form, but otherwise it's not that important. So I think for the replays I'm gonna use the first 6 Pokemon I'm shown to, Xerneas, Incineroar, Volcarona, Amoonguss, Regieleki, Rillaboom. But if you want to mix and match, you can add Rapid Strike to the Shifu instead of like anything on this team really. But keep in mind you might be leaving some matchups unchecked. So for example, Xerneas and Zacian matchup without Volcarona can be a bit tough. Trick Room matchup without Amoonguss can be tough. Torn Ogre matchup without Regieleki is tough. Calyrex Shadow Rider matchup without Rillaboom is tough. And without Incineroar, you just don't have that general annoyingness of the Xerneas team. So yeah, it's kind of like Big 6 kind of here, but don't blame yourself. You want to play a strong team, just get this Xerneas team, alright? So let's get into the replay section of this video. Alright, so we're going to be going up against Calyrex Shadow Rider first. So let's see how do we deal with that. So usually, I believe we're going to go Rillaboom Xerneas. Yeah, it's just very annoying for them to deal with, especially with the knockoff threat as well. Fake out, worst case scenario, I predict this incorrectly. But we still have a lot of HP on Xerneas. Knockoff just simply chaos Calyrex. Perfect. Next we're, yeah, Indeedee is probably the most probable Pokemon to be in the back. We switch it to Incineroar. To reset back the Rillaboom as grassy terrain. We don't care, close combat doesn't knock out. We would be actually more happy for close combat to knock out, so yeah, we bring it back to Rillaboom. Close combat doesn't deal that much damage to Xerneas. And just go for Geomancy. Spanning Force doesn't finish us off, which is hilarious. And now we just go for worst case scenario again. Grassy Glide, I predicted a White Guard here from me and Chow. Close combat knocks us out. Incineroar switches back in, and now we just, I believe we go for Fake Out and Mood Hammer into Landorus to just finish it off. Grassy Glide into me and Shell. Close combat finishes off Incineroar. Let's just go for fast right now. Volcarona switches in. I believe Rock Slide goes off or Sludge Bomb. We don't care really. And yeah, we just win this game. Yeah, Grassy Glide finishes that off. So that's the Calyrex Shadow Rider matchup. Zacian matchup is going to be a little bit more complicated. Now, keep in mind, playing against myself is just kind of difficult. So these like two consistent archetypes against each other is kind of hard to theorem on. So keep in mind, your main way to deal with this is going to definitely be Volcarona and Incineroar just being cycled back and forth. So yeah, that's your main game plan, to use Volcarona to full fruition. I believe we go for some kind of worst case scenario here. Yeah, Surging Strikes 3 Protect is not very nice. But I get a Parting Shot off, so that's nice. Volcarona switches back in, Rage Banners. Dazzling Gleam does good damage to Zacian. I'm gonna go for probably fast again. Beamid Blade doesn't deal that much damage. Surging Strikes, let's see if it, yeah, first burn is amazing. Citrus Berry still recovers us, perfect. Urshifu faints, Rillaboom switches in. So again, worst case scenario here. Opponent predicts the Fake Out correctly and doesn't fear Flame Body and doesn't get Flame Body either. Incineroar switches in to roll over the Grassy Glide damage. Wind Blast goes into Rillaboom to try to knock it out. We do not knock it out, which is kind of unfortunate. But Urshifu is already fainted, so that's nice. Sacred Sword to finish off Incineroar fails. Overheat finishes off Zacian, and now we are pretty much won the game with Volcarona already. Especially with Intimidated Rillaboom. Sporty Incineroar. Grassy Glide does nothing. Struggle Bug, Pollen Puff and Volcarona to heal it back to full. And Incineroar is super oppressed right now, so that is the Zacian matchup. Flare Blades burn, doesn't matter. Two Struggle Bugs just finish it off. Perfect. So that's the Zacian matchup. Alright, mirror matchup, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm actually gonna go for Hyper Fast here. The key to winning this matchup is definitely Volcarona. We just tried Fake Outs, tried Geomancy, tried Burning Shot, Volcarona is definitely very good because we can just Moon Blast plus Overheat to knock out the opponent's Among Us. Dazzling Gleam, Surging Strikes actually knocks us out. That doesn't matter. Because we got the big advantage with our own Xerneas now, because we can just kind of like, yeah, we can just Rage Powder, Dazzling Gleam, Sport the Xerneas. We still got full health Incineroar. Yeah, perfect. So, yeah. I've got a link to replays in the description, so if you want to just watch some of these replays in your own tempo, feel free to do that. Alright, so the Eternatus matchup, even with Ditto, is kind of difficult for us to deal with. But Volcarona plus Struggle Bug is going to be our main way to deal with Eternatus. So in this matchup, usually you want to just lower the Eternatus special attack enough so it just doesn't, it's not annoying, alright? So Sludge Bombs just don't do that much damage. Cosmic Power spam is kind of annoying, but Struggle Bug, Parting Shot is just gonna put Eternatus in its rightful place. Amogus, which is in, also Amogus is very good against Eternatus because we can just kind of like spore it. Sludge Bomb happens, Surging Strikes, Citrus Berry, Surging Strikes, knocks us out, and then burns, which is super annoying. Spore doesn't hit into Shifu, which is super annoying. But now, please don't poison. Perfect. Surging Strikes don't do even that much damage. Geomancy hits. Perfect. Spore into Eternatus. Perfect. So now, Ditto switches in because Eternatus is utterly useless. Dazzling Gleam hits into the opponent, and now the Pollen Puff comes into play. We can just kind of Pollen Puff ourselves to heal us back in. Gonna protect, try to spore, double protect, just in case. Just to see what Ditto logs into. Rage Powder. Direct away the Sludge Bomb. Ditto unfortunately survives this hit, which is super unfortunate, but another Dazzling Gleam doesn't finish us off without a critical hit, so that's perfect. Dazzling Gleam finishes off both of them, and Xerneas just wins this game. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn on Hyper Fast, Fake Out, Moonblast, GG. Well played. And last but not least, the Torn Ogre matchup is also very annoying, but we got Regilike with Focus Sash, so it is kind of more trivialized. Earth Power hits into Regilike, which is super annoying, but we can just Volt Switch away, KO the Tornadoes, which is forced to set up Delvin, or else Xerneas kind of like runs over. And so we spore the Linares. Now you can see Linares, the Tornado Slate is kind of annoying, but we got a lot of bulk on Xerneas, so that's super nice. Geomancy gets set up, Spore the Kaiga, perfect. Now we're kind of fearing that the Linares here, but the Delvin is kind of running out, so even if they wake up turn 1 here, we don't kind of care actually. Dazzling Gleam hits into double of them, Linares just kind of faints. Xerneas is kind of annoying, we switch back to Regilike, if we can just double protect here, it doesn't really matter. And Moonblast plus Electro Web will just double finish off this game, so yeah. And this is kind of the unorthodox lead of this. They lead Linares Tornadoes, this is not very often the case, they will most likely lead Serena Tornadoes or Calgary Tornadoes, where Regilike really shines, so yeah, that's this matchup. And now let's get into the counteraction section of this video. Alright, so the most reliable counteraction to this are gonna be the first two, and this is why I just include so few counteractions to this. Also, I forgot completely this one. Among Us is perfect counteraction, since with Intimidate support it can take Flare Blitz very well. Close Monk allows it to just get away all the boosts from Xerneas, and without Xerneas' boost, the team kind of falls apart very easily. It also pulls out Regilike, it also pulls out Rillaboom, it also pulls out Urshifu Rapid Strike, so Among Us is super nice. Volcarona is also kind of nice. It allows it to deal with opponents Among Us on the team a little bit better with Overheat. It allows it to we kind of got the Pseudo Struggle Bug here with Pseudo Close Monk, excuse me, with Struggle Bug here on the Volcarona, so that's super nice. Whirlwind also just kind of push away the Xerneas from the game is also very nice, so that's very nice. And Volcarona also resists the Fire types moves thanks to the Fire typing, so that's super nice. Volcarona is nice. Stakataka is probably the most reliable counteraction to the entire team. Safety Goggles allows it to ignore Among Us, so that's very nice. With Gyro Ball allows it to just one-shot Xerneas. If it's 4 HP Xerneas, you can actually one-shot it even after Intimidate with a Gyro Ball, so that's very nice because of the Stakataka's very high attack. With Rook Room, we can just turn the speed ties, the tides of speed against them. Rock Slide allows you to deal with their Volcarona pretty much perfectly, and if you get any defense boosts, Butter Press is just gonna completely massacre them. And if they just kinda like Intimidate log you or Intimidate spam you with the Xerneas team, with Incineroar, for example, with Burning Shot, Intimidate, you can kind of still go for Body Press to just kinda like massacre their Incineroar with Body Press, and that's super nice. And Whimsicott is the last mention, so you can run like Talent to just kind of outspeed their Xerneas. So that's kind of a good idea, but it kind of like comes short because if you go for like Taunt is mandatory to just shut down Xerneas' Geomancy. And they can just go for Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast to simply just do big damage to you because they still got Fairy Aura. And Moonblast hits like a truck, they got very high special attacks, so This is like, the Tailwind counteraction is kind of unreliable, so I'm gonna just say, stick to stack attack at body press and gyro balls, stick to Among Us Sports and Clear Smoke, or stick to Struggle Block and Whirlwind of Volcarona. And with that, I end this video. Hopefully you learned something new, and I'll catch you next time with next Metagame Monday. So see ya, and have a nice day.